Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Arr. Greeting, greeting, greeting. Hello, welcome. How the devil art thou? We're back again. It's another Sunday. And this is another dab sesh. And I've been how can I put it? I've been a bit of a lazy beggar this week. I'm not actually finished off Felicia, so I'll get a goo a day. Literally exactly a quarter left to do. But it looks like I've got pretty much all the confetti random bitty bits out of the way, so it's like just over half a face, a bit of hair, and then background, so should go fairly rapidly. So how is everybody? Not that anyone's actually here at the moment. I did see a few, but they all disappeared quick. Samuel, how the devil are you? Can't chat driving. Radio, keep your eyes on the road. I'd rather you got there safe than not get there at all. Wherever it is you're driving. It's either going to be dog park or pharmacy, I reckon. It's usually one of those. So yeah, it's thankfully been another uneventful week. I like those kind of weeks. The less excitement in my life, the better. As well, I'm just like that. Stop sign now. Crack down on car. Oh dear, bit too much caffeine. Not that there is such a thing. There is just caffeine. Well, then, unless you're someone like me, then what I would consider a normal amount of caffeine would probably send most people into some kind of spiral. As we all know, there are 5 main food groups. There is protein, there is carbohydrate, there is sugar, there is caffeine, and there is nicotine. Those are my 5 main food groups. That's 6 if you add fat as well. I'd probably fail that question on a high school exam, but there we go. I made it to 50 without any major health scares, so I'll take that. Well, sorry. Touch wood. Touch wood, I make it to 50. I'm not quite there yet. I've just been coming to terms with the fact, and now I'm good with it. It's not bothering me anymore. And I'm too old to have a midlife crisis now, so there we go. No, 50 is middle. It's the middle we live. No. G'day, Craigo. How the devil are you? Yeah. Up with the birds again today, I see. I do wake up early and get up early, but I can't human all people at those times of day. It's just not possible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can just about manage to sit and watch stuff and go, generally grumble, but that's just me. Check Bell post 110,000 views. Bloody hell, Bell! Way to go! This is what happens when you know what you're talking about and you're pretty. I'm not saying that should make a difference, but it does. Let's be honest, fellas. If there's 2 videos covering the same subject and at the same depth level, we're going to watch a pretty girly, aren't we? Let's be honest. Bloody Easter egg video. Oh well, she's getting in early, so all the people who are already were worrying about how to continue the lie to the children about special bunnies that bring chocolate. How did that get perverted to a bunny that brings you chocolate chicken eggs? What? I know bunnies produce mini eggs that look like chocolate, but you don't want to eat them, trust me. And they're vegan friendly. Because they are about 90% hay, but soz, but I don't want to eat bunny eggs. Howdy, Linkbot. I'm trying to crack that for years. Can't afford eggs in Australia. Technically, they're not vegan only because an animal produces it. Yeah, there is that. But then, I mean, to me, all foods are vegan friendly. It's just that they choose not to enjoy eating them. But as I always say, if there weren't those of us who enjoyed eating our meat and eggs and dairy and all the good, tasty, filling things, then there wouldn't be any fertilizer for all the veggie foods because all vegetarian and vegan foods, vegetables that are grown by us as a species, are fertilized by animal products. You don't see them pointing that one out, do you? So ideally, if you want to truly be vegan, you can only eat foods that have been chemically fertilized and treated with massive amounts of herbicide and pesticide, uh, so you don't accidentally eat a bug or a caterpillar. Don't accidentally boil a slug in your cabbage. Yeah, well, let's be honest, we haven't got to worry about vegans. It's not like they've got the strength or endurance to do anything about it. Here's another way to look at it. If your choice of diet means that you have to add supplements to your diet, it means you're not eating what you're supposed to eat. Like this isn't a choice or a moral thing. It's what our bodies are designed and evolved to run on. We are omnivores. This is why we only have one stomach, not several like most herbivores. Okay, some only have one, but most larger herbivores have a rather convoluted digestive system compared to us. And there is one simple answer. Yeah, the amount of chemicals you have to eat to replace a simple animal protein is crazy. Yeah. Oh, but it's so much cheaper to eat vegan food. Well, not if you have to keep buying all the supplements on top as well. And as fish keepers, we also know because some people try to do this because they claim it's good and healthy for you. It's really not a good idea to drink RODI water or just the eye water. It contains nothing. So it actually robs your body of minerals and nutrients when it passes through. This is why even the most dedicated of shrimp keepers who do use RODI water, they always remineralize it to some extent because if you take all the minerals out, it's actually pretty toxic at the end of the day. It's certainly not supporting of life. Welcome to my TED Talk. So yeah, what have we been up to this week? Mostly work and chill, really. Weather's not been particularly pleasant. So I ran out of frames, so I think that kind of put the kibosh a bit on me wanting to be up here because I've not got frames to put Felicia in when I'm finished. It's also been pretty chilly, so there is that as well. And I've not been sleeping great. But other than that, it's been a good week. Had a newbie start at work and she's getting on okay. Doesn't seem to be a prude or a Karen or anything like that. So gets on, mucks in and has a laugh. ain't afraid to swear, which we like. My original store manager, the one who hired me where I work now, one of the questions she asked me in the interview was, "So, how do you feel about?" And she, the C word. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine with it." So good. So, nobody wants to work with people who are so easily offended that you have to be careful how you even swear. I've worked with those kind of people. It's not fun. The kind of people who try to tell you off because you said something like hell or damn or bugger. And you're like, no, no, I'm going to keep swearing. As long as I don't swear too much in front of customers, all's going to be fine. Yeah, so how do you reach adulthood? I mean, something like middle age, and I never swear. I've never sworn in my life. Have you bollocks? I think it's a sign of a small vocabulary. I beg to differ because I've got a whole bunch of words in my vocabulary that you don't use. Always got 10,000 in a day. What, steps or flaps or? I think the last person who said they almost got 10,000 in today was Bonnie Blue, wasn't it? Howdy, Mikey! Unexpected day off home playing Skyrim all morning. Excellent. Been many, many years since I played Skyrim. I think it would have been on the Xbox 360. Yeah, it would have been. Remember that? The horse armor scandal? They're asking you to pay actual money for something that doesn't do anything. Now look at games. Here, buy this new skin for only $8.99. It does absolutely nothing, and everyone is going to go out and buy it. She'll all look exactly the same. Right. And nobody bats an eyelid. This is one of the reasons I stopped gaming. Because I don't mind paying extras. No, if they're not, if they're not already on the disc, and they actually add to the gameplay, like new levels or character classes or missions, that kind of stuff. But I absolutely refuse to pay extra for something that was already on the disc. But no, I've paid for it. It is legally mine. You do not get to charge me for it again. Oh, Dual wielding maces, conjurer, glass armor. Ah, getting there then. Start a new character on New Year's. That's a good use of a New Year's, I'd say. Can't remember what my character was, but basically all the skills were maxed out to 100 and running around in full Daedric armor and that kind of stuff back then. Stopped using the horse because I ran faster than the horse bloody went. So, more fun than TV. Well, chewing your toenails is more fun than television. Yeah, this is why I no longer have a television license, because I cancelled it because there's nothing I want to watch. But the TV licensing people can't seem to understand that if there's nothing I want to watch, that I shouldn't have to pay for a license because I'm not using the product. And now they want to bring things like watching YouTube into needing a TV license. They already managed to put things like Sky, Netflix, and Prime on there. Like, hang on, so I'm already paying for the service, but you want me to pay to be able to use the service I'm paying for? Okay. Shouldn't you be going after the people who are taking my money for that fee? No, it's a fairly big thing over here because obviously more and more people are watching stuff online. They're not watching terrestrial TV channels anymore because, well, let's be honest, they're crap. So the license fee revenue keeps dropping year after year, and the BBC, and by extension the licensing people, are getting a bit desperate now because, well, the price of everything keeps going up, but the amount of money they're receiving keeps going down. So now they think it's a really good idea to spend God knows how much money chasing people to try and get them to pay for something they don't need. And then try to fine them because, reasons. Yeah. And the rest of the world might have to be careful as well because BBC is going to be putting stuff on YouTube. So technically, if you click on a BBC video, you should have a TV license to watch it, even though it's not on TV. And it's monetized through adverts. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, really. The only reason we have the license is because the BBC is funded by it. There are no adverts on the BBC. I mean, they're desperate to keep it that way, but I think it's basically the only TV company on the planet that doesn't have adverts on it. Which is kind of proven that it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. It just annoys me. You think about it. Every time they send out a letter, sort of basically threatening you that you need a license, we will take you to court if you don't have a license. For every letter like that they send out, it costs them money. Maybe if they stopped, like wasting all that money on sending out letters that just go straight in the bin, they might have some money left to make some more programs. Maybe make something interesting that people want to watch. But yeah, adverts for the advert. Yeah. And from what I understand, a good chunk of the adverts you have would not be allowed over here either. You're not allowed to advertise prescription medication. That's illegal. Because otherwise, the drug companies just start getting greedy. And the drug companies don't get to choose how much they charge for their products over here. They get told how much the NHS is going to pay for their product. They don't exactly have a choice in the matter. Because otherwise, the NHS will just use another product. Or possibly take them to court. And it won't be the NHS taking them to court. It will be the British government. So good luck with that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what on earth the world is coming to. This all just seems to be backwards. It's the old dinosaurs can't take that things have changed. The times they are changing, and they're getting left behind, and they don't like it. But this is the way it's always been. Yeah, well, it's time to change. It was time to change quite a long time ago, BBC, but you kept putting it off and putting it off. And now it's going to have to happen. And it'll probably be something that just happens to roll through Parliament one day. Oh yeah, we're abolishing the TV licence. And then watch Auntie Beeb fill her knickerbockers as they panic about what the heck they're going to do. Oh, is it the Super Bowl this weekend, or Super Bowl, or whatever you call it? You know, the throw, catch, stop, throw up, hug, have a rest, start again game that is popular over there. That some Americans think is the world's biggest sporting event. And it's like, you do realise it is literally just the one country in the world that has any real interest in it. There might be some people in other countries that watch it, but 95% of the audience is going to be Americans. Join as a channel member for exclusive benefits and help support football. Yep. And the Olympics. Well, the Winter Olympics can be kind of fun, especially when you get them sliding down the old skeleton bob and basically sliding down an icy mountain on a tea tray with no brakes. Although I think one of it might have been a skier, had to be airlifted off the mountain after a bit of a crash. Yes, generally the Winter Olympics does tend to have some more interesting sports than the Summer Olympics. But yes, let's just hope that Donald has enough sense not to show up at the closing ceremony expecting a gold medal. Because the IOC won't like that. And what's going on with the World Cup? Well, that kind of depends on what happens with the Winter Olympics. Because if things go badly there, they may well, choose to not hold any World Cup matches in the States. And I think there's quite a few of the teams who are already saying they might boycott it on grounds of safety, which would be funny. The World Cup, where the host nation spends a fortune, doesn't get to host any matches, loses money, and still doesn't win it. Yeah. there's that. What else has been happening? I'm going to pay lip service, but I'm going to try and avoid the former president and first lady as chimpanzees video. Ooh, yeah, that's not good in anyone's book. I think even the Mango Mussolini's hero would have drawn the line at that one. So what else? Well, wrong ones. That one there. That one there. That one back there. Yeah, so I've been mostly catching up on endurance racing this week, so that takes quite a while to do. And when the shortest race is 4 hours, it takes a while to get caught up. Well, I think I'm getting there now. I just got one more Asian Le Mans Series race to go, then the Dubai 24 hours. Yeah, it is. It's no. Look at me. Look at me. Look, see how big and important I am. But you're not. Nobody cares. To quote Green Day, nobody likes you. Everyone left you. They're all out without you, having fun. Yeah. Apologies for the poorly sung version of Homecoming, but yeah, I'm not going to not going to deny we haven't got things going on over here as well, but I think the main thing at the moment is everyone being shocked that Peter Mandelson might have been misbehaving with young ladies. It's not that they were young, we're shocked by the fact that it was women or girls. Lord Mandelson, otherwise known as Mandy, because, allegedly. And his ties to Island Boy, apparently. Not that I've really paid much attention. I was like, oh, Mandelson came up in the Epstein stuff. That doesn't surprise me. Bit like saying Lenin was a communist. Yeah, it's some things you just kind of know. Yeah, I don't know. it's midterms this year, so hopefully the Republicans get a good butt kicking and lose any kind of majority and any chance of getting anything put through in Congress or Senate. Although you just know the giant man baby will throw the toys out of the pram and claim that people were fudging the election numbers, and like he does every time, even when he wins. Miraculously. But how is it not? How is it? I don't understand it. Why didn't everybody vote for me? Whereas everyone outside the US is going, how the hell did so many people vote for him? Mm. Some people just don't learn from history, I guess. I'm an amazing businessman. Just let me bring you up on the point there. How many times have you been bankrupt? That's not important. Yes, it is, because successful businessmen don't go bankrupt multiple times. They also don't get convicted of fraud 30 plus times. Yeah. I'm not saying they don't commit fraud, I'm just saying they don't get caught doing it. They're not quite as blatant. Hmm. So, are there any lighter subjects perhaps we could talk about than, possible onset of World War III again? I thought we'd gone past that with the Cold War. When that ended, I was like, yeah, that's it. We've learned World War III is not going to happen. How can I walk into any grocery in the city and there's whole chickens, bread, and milk every time? Then there isn't when they stir the public up about a storm. Yeah, exactly. It's called panic buying. People get scared because, a shop might be closed for a day or two, and they're convinced they will starve if they aren't able to go to that shop every day. We get it over here every time they forecast snow. Every time they forecast snow in the local weather, anyway, not the national, because that's always wrong as far as this little corner of the UK is concerned, anyway. But yeah, as soon as they forecast more than a couple of inches of snow and they start telling people, oh, don't go out unless you absolutely have to, everyone piles into the shops and buys all the bread, milk, and eggs. And, when it's COVID, toilet paper, pasta sauces, and dried pasta. Then some dumbass famous chef, Jamie Oliver, decides that he's going to help people through lockdown by showing them how to do various meals and things. And you know what that caused? That caused a lot of bored housewives and mothers to go out and buy all the ingredients to make these things that he was showing you how to make, which led to more shortages. Because people who wouldn't normally be buying whatever random different kind of flour or actually buying flour were suddenly going out and buying it, and then there wasn't any. So stores had to limit how much of a thing you could buy. Yeah. Only one bag of flour per customer. But the recipe needs this much, and there's only this much in the bag. Well, come back tomorrow, get another bag. But I want to make it now. Tough. So you'd have husband and wife coming into the shop together with a trolley each, and each buying one of everything. And then going to different hills like nobody would notice. So, not questioning. I like bread, milk, and chicken. Well, I mean, I like bread as much as the next man, but there is long life milk, there is powdered milk, and there are other forms of protein. Chicken being one of the nastiest, and one of the worst treated as well when it comes to farm animals. Yeah, but the thing that gets me is when we had divide this recipe. This is why we got fractions. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's only 2/3 of what you need in that packet. Well, make 2/3 of the amount then. I can't do that. That's maths. It's like all those people that thought the 1/3 pound burger was smaller than the quarter pounder because 3 is a lower number than 4. And it's like, yeah, you really need to go back to school and actually pay some attention. It's really not that hard. Quarter pounder, yes. So with a pound of meat, how many burgers do you get? For 1/3 pound burger, how many burgers do you get for the pound of meat? 3. Well done. So why are you still buying the quarter pounder over the third pounder? Because the quarter pounder's bigger. Just, some days there aren't enough brick walls to bang heads against. If brains were dynamite, some people wouldn't be able to clean their ears. And I swear I've known people and I've known animals that are more intelligent than those people, I swear. I mean, it's one of the general biggest complaints when like a British or a European cookery show lands on US shores or cookery book is that all the measurements are going to be in metric. And apparently you can't swap metric to imperial measurements. Whereas we go, yeah, but how much is a cup? Is it a standard measuring cup? And if so, how big is it? I've got cups that are that big and cups that are out of the shop. That's still a cup. But if you got 1 cup of this, 2 cups of that, and then 3 of these, 2 of these, 6 fluid ounces of that, you're like, that's you're not going to work. I mean, if you measure everything in cups, then fair enough. But then you have to specify the exact size of the cup for it to work. And when a recipe mentions a pinch of sugar or a pinch of salt, I mean a little pinch between your thumb and forefinger and like that. They don't mean yeah, there is the meme, I suppose, basically about how much water some Americans do drink. See them walking around with their gallon jugs and what have you, or coming over to Europe and complaining they can't get water anywhere. Water's everywhere. Yeah. The reason is the amount of salt in the food. It's not about hydrating because, humans are humans, are all pretty similar in these things. You don't need that much water. All that does is make you need to go to the toilet more often. What you need to do is figure out what it is that your body is needing to flush through it to get rid of and take that out of the food. The sugar and the salt, basically. Actually, I was watching a video earlier. Can't remember who it was, but someone I watch semi-regularly. And they were comparing UK Fanta to US Fanta. Same thing. Fizzy orange drink. 500 ml half pint bottle, basically. Now ours is made with orange juice, no artificial colours, and one bottle I think contained 23 grams or just under an ounce of sugar. The American version contained no orange juice, all the artificial colours, and 3 times the amount of sugar. Even the American guy who was doing the taste test was like, after drinking the British one and going, yeah, that's actually really good. He then drank the American one and was like, oh my God, that's horrific. And then his English girlfriend had a try and she sniffed it first, and her first impression was it smells like orange scented cleaning solutions, like citrus kitchen cleaner. I thought it's probably not far off. It's probably a lot of the same ingredients. Yes. Come on to other people's in chat. Say hello. I know you're there, lurkifying in the background. There's probably someone there who's keeping an eye to see if I do or say anything against another member of the fish community or the modelling community. Probably more likely the fish keeping community, though. I think all the people in the model making community who disagree with me have long since gone by the wayside. Oh yeah. Today's figure is a banshee. Let's see if we can get a bit closer and then come. It's the TV license, people. Would not surprise me. Would not surprise me in the slightest. You need a TV license to stream on YouTube. No, I don't. I'm streaming via a service that isn't actually in the UK, so, you know, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. And I'm not consuming content, I'm creating it. Actually, Mikey, while you're here, is there any particular thing or any particular person you'd like me to do a diamond painting of? Don't say Donald, because we both know I'm going to do a custom one, and it's going to be a Mickey take. It'd probably be one of the a blimp that when he first visited the UK all them years ago as El Jefe or El Presidente, the blimp that was flown, depicting him as a crying baby in a diaper. I might do that one. If I was going to do JD Vance, I'd probably do him as the fat kid on the back of the milk carton. Um, or holding a rifle. Oh, come on, pen work. Need more wax. There we are. It'll stick now. Don't tread on me flag. Yeah. I'm still tempted by that T-shirt with him and Jeffrey on, with a little island in the background, and it says "Island Boys." That would be rather amusing. Um, or there's the "Not my president," in which people try to argue that he is. No. Uh, it's not like we're not used to politicians lying. Right? We're used to that. That's been a thing for since time immemorial. Working for their own interests rather than that of the people, and all that palaver. Right? We're used to that. It's just the sheer barefacedness of it. They're just making things up and then trying to claim it's true because you've decided it is. No, that's not how facts work. Facts aren't subjective, they're factual. They're binary, one even might say. Ooh, that's that's an interesting one. That's food for thought. When we count in decimals, okay? Base of 10, generally, unless you're doing some interesting maths that needs different bases like octal or hexadecimal or binary. So that means that when people do maths or speak about time or money or anything like that, anything involving numbers, they're doing it in a non-binary manner. Argue your way out of that one. It's like when you see but Jesus didn't have pronouns. Then you see the quote from, is it Corinthians? I can't remember. The quote is, I am he. Couldn't be any more obvious of a pronoun. Um, oh, there is fishy news. Uh, Doug, the lemon blue eye, and his as yet unnamed girly friend, the longfin super red, are proud parents again. We have a batch of wrigglers in the cave, and Doug is sitting outside, wafting away with his spikes out, looking all angry and aggressive. You know, because the only other things in the tank, the Amica Splendens, are a real threat to Bristlenose Fry. He's being a good dad, that's the important bit. Showing how big and tough he is to protect his babies. Which won't really work when tomorrow or Tuesday I go in there and I pull them all out. And he gets angry with me again. That doesn't really achieve anything because, let's be honest, being spiked by Bristlenose doesn't really hurt. Doug and Lady Doug. Yes, there's not really a woman's name that starts with a Doug. Unless I start getting silly like Dougella. Oh, actually, are there any famous women who've only got one arm? Because she's missing a pectoral fin following an accident when she was small. I'm guessing probably got it caught in a filter or something. Famous one-armed woman, or a punny name for a woman with one arm, or a female of some something with one arm. That can be quite amusing. So obviously I've already got Fred and Rose, which is a bit dark, let's be honest. And we've got Bertie and Spotty. They seem to have either stopped or just be taking a break at the moment. Mind you, so Fred and Rose, but that can't be because they're too old to breed anymore. They're not. Well, it might be because they're the only fish in the tank. That might be it. It's just Fred and Rose and some random shrimp that ended up in there and a bunch of snails. So that might be why they're not breeding. They might want fishy friends in there. I don't know. So the thing is, with it being a 15-gallon fluval flex, so it doesn't leave a huge amount of bioload available for extra fish, especially given the hundreds of trumpet snails that are in there. Maybe if I put the yo-yo loach back in, he might get some of them, but he, as I say, cleared out the ram's horns double quick, and then over time all the trumpet snails disappeared, so I took him out, and literally within a couple of days all the trumpet snails came back out of the substrate. I was like, oh, that didn't work then. Come on, get in there. Well, yeah, I've got a week off in a couple of weeks, so maybe see what we can do. I'm not going for a redo on the tank because, let's be honest, we all know that having a redo of the tank doesn't mean you're going to get rid of the trumpet snails. There will always be some left behind, and they just end up multiplying again. And then what do? Short of going nuclear and just pretty much boiling the tank. That might work. Boil the tank and give the substrate a good stir to make sure the stupidly hot water gets down into it. That might cull them off. thing is, there's that many in there that now, even if I pull as many as I can, anything I put in there that is going to kill the snails is going to cause a massive, massive ammonia spike. Yeah, perhaps some kind of dwarf puffer. No, I'm not going. I'm not going to buy a puffer just to get rid of some snails. It'll have to be manual removal and keep on top of it, which is never fun. No, we've got a couple more of them. So yeah. I mean, the tanks haven't been neglected. They've been getting their weekly water changes, their filter cleans, anything that needs doing. But they've not exactly been deeply cared for, shall we say. I'm not spending hours and hours each week going around pulling out snails and trimming plants and all these things because, well, the tanks are healthy. Everything's going okay. And as we all know, it's when you start changing things that things start going wrong. And I'd rather things didn't go wrong and create even more work. And that is why you see so many people who start the fish keeping hobby, really get into it, buy dozens and dozens of tanks because I want to keep these, I want to keep these, I want these, I want these, and these can't go with these, and these can't go with these, and these can't go with these, and yeah, end up with dozens and dozens of tanks, and then it suddenly dawns on them just how much work it is. And as soon as it's not like the main focus of everything, things, the little things start slipping by the wayside and not quite being done as often as they maybe should. Water changes start slipping, maintenance, and then things start kicking the bucket. And then after a while, they start shutting everything down and either going back to having one or two tanks or just getting rid of everything entirely. Let's say, so wasn't Get Gills. What was the other one? what was the other one that started up? Not Get Gills. There was another one like it, and I haven't heard anything about that for a while. Again, it's another one that a lot of the people are like, oh yeah, I'll breed these and I'll sell them, thinking they're going to sell all of the ones they can breed, and it doesn't work like that. And they don't make all the money they think they're going to make, and then they stop doing it. Yeah, it's the way things go, just with hobbies in general. I know at some point I'll get bored of doing these. It's going to happen. I want to change and do something else, and I will. I'm not going to force myself to keep doing something if I'm not enjoying it. So at least with the diamond paintings, there's no real skill involved or anything like that, and you can pick it up and put it down however you like. No right way or wrong way, or as long as you stick the right drills down on the right spots. I'm sure at some point I'll get back to figure painting, but I did a few of them in quick succession and got tired of it. It's kind of been a recurring theme throughout my life. Start a new hobby, go really deep, learn as much as I'm going to learn, get as good as I'm going to get at it, and then kind of get bored is probably not the right word, but it stops becoming as enjoyable because I'm not learning anything new. I'm repeating the same thing. So then I find another hobby. But what tends to happen, I've noticed it and I know it now, is that several years later, I'll decide to give that hobby a go again. So I don't sell off all my old stuff. I keep hold of it. Because there ain't much that really changes in a lot of hobbies. Okay, RC cars tend to move on fairly rapidly, but given how much they cost these days, I'm probably not going to be doing that anytime soon. And also the fact there's no racing clubs anywhere near me anymore, so as I found the last time I tried to get back into it, I bought a couple of cars, but top of the line this, top of the line that. Ran a couple of battery packs through and was like, well, yeah, I can't go racing. So yeah, it kind of stopped. Because to me, just driving a radio controlled car about randomly isn't enjoyable. To me, it's about the racing, getting around that track as quickly as you can, adjusting the suspension, the gearing, everything pretty much, power curves to to decrease the lap times. When you're just bimbling about outside, it just doesn't do it for me. and I tried rock crawling as well, or RC rock crawling, and that just turned out being okay. So the thing is to get from point A to point B as quick as possible. Right, so I need bigger tires, bigger wheels, more weight, more power, and just ended up creating a behemoth that destroyed everything. And yeah, I kind of didn't enjoy it, and neither did the other people because they were doing it properly, by which I mean going very slow and steady. And yeah, that's not me with RCs. It's me with RCs is full bore or nothing. Whew, I thought it was getting a bit warm up here. The temperature has finally taken a turn for the positive the last couple of days, so that's a bonus. So yeah, I'm not currently looking for a new hobby, because I know probably a couple of weeks' time I've got a week off, so I'll be getting back out into the garden and clearing that ready for spring and summer. The spring bulbs are already coming through, so we've had the snowdrops flowering, the crocuses are starting, the narcissi and daffodils are nice and green at the moment. They've got all their leaf stalks up. Yeah, that's just going to be a case of going around and getting all last year's annual plants and plants I don't want anymore, weeds, and just pulling everything out basically, which isn't the most enjoyable thing to do. And the brown bin is only a certain size, so yeah, that's a point. I'll have to pay that as well soon. The garden waste bin or trash can. It's emptied every 2 weeks, but it's very easy to fill, especially if you're just yanking out big plants and chucking them in there. Rabbit, 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 rabbit. You got more rabbit than Sainsbury's. This time you got it off your chest. You're the kind of girl who'll break my heart in two. How was I to know you'd break my ear holes too? With your incessant talking. Yeah, sorry, that's the classic London knees up band Chaz and Dave. Very successful in late 70s, early 80s, I want to say. If you've not heard them before, which I suspect probably no American has. Worth giving them a listen for a laugh. You might need the subtitles on though, because it is broad English accents or broad London Cockney type accents. Not received pronunciation or the Queen's English. Or as it is now, the King's English. Do I want to do another? No. I'm going to leave it there, I reckon. I'm starting to overheat. And you don't need to see me stripping off. So, thank you to everyone who's turned it up. Put up with my waffle for over an hour and a half. Same time next week, hopefully with something a bit more interesting to talk about. Have a good one. Stay safe. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye. Ew, I stuck to my canvas.